Evangelion, past, present, future. What does it mean? Who knows? But I'll tell you one thing. When you look at the depth and the motifs of Evangelion, you know, all sorts of stuff will jump out at you. And if you know about all the deep stuff in Evangelion, smack a little comment in my comment section. Put a comment in my comment section so I can know about all the stuff you think. This is Mari she's from the Rebuilds. Real fans know about Mari. She's one of the cooler, more deeper characters on account of how, you know, she runs around and starts yelling and making stuff up about me and defaming me in the show. And everything that she said about me is not true. I just want to let the audience know that everything that was said about me is not true in Evangelion that happens about me. There are many prominent characters. There's Shinji. There's let me just hang this up. This place is such a mess. I'm here. Oh, fuck. You guys, it's fine, right? If I just... Fuck. Guys, I'm so fucking sorry. And one of the characters in the show is my stepdad, Gabriel, Big G. That fucking guy married my stupid Bikini Babe bimbo mom. The whole show is really just downhill from there, to be honest with you. And this one, the whole show just goes down the hole that I have. Goes into my little 5G hole that I have in my arm that I got at Publix for free. And I have to get a second one next month because Gabe made me do it. And that's the thing about Gabe, is that he's one of the awesomer characters when you really, you know, if you look at the themes. When you look at the motifs of Evangelion, you find out about Gabe, and you learn about me as well. Even though there's lots of fibs and fakeries and lies and defamations about me, of my character in Evangelion, there's good stuff about it too. We have him. He brings warmth to me, and he helps me through trying times. I think we should move on to the analysis, guys. We should move on to the footage analysis, where... Alright, in this episode we see Shinji is coming to terms with his own... there's not even anything happening. There we go, the lady we love to see. Asuka's back. We all love the little skimpy teenager in Evangelion. Fucking stop. I want to see my favorite little characters running around on the screen. They're not even being funny or saying any of their lines. I'm sorry, guys. This is so fucking embarrassing. I do have some exclusive artwork available for purchase. Guys, I'm so fucking sorry about this. Let me just... How much is... How much? 19. What's up with the angels? Does that make sense? Because when I think about the angels, my brain's going, what the freaking crap is going on with that? It's really a deconstruction of when in the mechas, in the old ones, they would say, get in the stinking robot, and they would every time. But Shinji said, you can't make me. And then look at the disastrous consequences as a result of my little teenage boy, of my little friend, and he's just like me. Did you ever think about that? About my little guy who's like me? And Ray shows up, and she's like, well, don't mind if I do. Because she's all fucked up in the head too. And maybe she's his mom as well. I don't remember that. I don't remember that much. You guys remember Mari? You guys remember the Rebuild? We talked about that. If you remember the Rebuild, she shows up and she's bodacious. And she's got a hot summer bod. Do you guys remember that? There. And now, when you examine, you know, when you put all the characters together, you have hot ass, fucking sexy ass from the Rebuild, and then she might only be from the second one. You get him, and then Ray's also in the picture. Remember, she could be his mom if you want. Get them all together. And just, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Just so you know where they are. Because that's what Evangelion's really all about at the end. Is making sure you know where all your little friends are. and ow! And making sure my stepdad's not involved anymore. And you're in Ava too, but you didn't see that coming. It's a little fastball, a little curveball, a knuckleball for all my baseball fans in the comments. Sound off if you're a baseball fan. And then subscribe as well, and hit my bell so I know if you're coming. And don't worry about me. I'll be okay, because I understand the motifs, the various motifs and themes, and everything that's going on in Evangelion. I understand what happens in the opening theme. I know all what she's talking about because I speak all the words that she's saying, so I know what she's saying. And she's telling me everything's going to be okay. And what's even happening with the angels? You know what I mean? Like, what's up with that? And all the crosses and stuff? I get the feeling there's something going on there. When you think about the Bible and you think about Evangelion, you realize there's a connection. And Adam and Eve are involved. They're both aliens. The mechas, the robots aren't even freaking... They're just guys instead of machines. And you find that out later. I'm sorry for the spoilers for all the more advanced or the less advanced viewers in the comment section if you want to sound off about me spoiling that for you. You could maybe offer me a comment or a word of praise. You guys remember the little guy at the beginning? Easter egg for you. That's Shinji. And when he shows up, that's how you know the story started, because he's the main one. And his whole thing, what's going on with Shinji is that he's just a little guy in a big world, and you don't want to scare him because the robot only listens to him. Because the robots could be his mom as well. Really, what I realized about Evangelion is what the lesson it teaches you is that anyone could be your mom. So watch who you mouth off to. Misato could be my mom if she wanted to, is kind of what I'm saying. Then there's the funny little penguin. Do you guys remember the funny little penguin? I think it's awesome that she houses a little Arctic creature in her house, in her apartment. 10 by 10 apartment that she just drinks in all day. I think it's awesome she has a sentient penguin living with her. That's kind of cool and kind of wacky. I think it matches the tone and the themes of the awesome show featuring my favorite little guy. And then my stepdad shows up. And then Gabe shows up. And everyone's like, come on, get inside the robot. And then Gabriel is insisting that too. It was his idea. And Shinji's just his favorite young man and also his son by blood. So he's like, I know that you could pilot your mom robot as an alien from the Bible. I know if you get inside of her and you start jumping around, all the horrifying fucking creatures from hell that are showing up for no reason, that could also be biblical maybe, will go away. You could defeat them and save the earth that's like sinking. It just kind of looks cool, to be honest. If you read the verse, Leviticus, it says something in there about Adam and Eve and the you know, it's kind of crazy. They breathe water inside the robot. That's how I knew it wasn't real when I was first watching. I knew that they were messing around with me and pulling my leg when I started breathing water inside the cabins. I said, are you joking me? There's no freaking way. If I did that, I would drown. And then freaking hot-ass, fucking sexy-ass fucking babe shows up in a lab coat, starts talking all sorts of mess about stuff I don't know about. And that was awesome. And that kind of got my noggin going a little bit. And I was thinking about all sorts of stuff in the show as well. You know, I started kind of brainstorming. And I've kind of come up with like an Ava-themed, maybe like game or trick or like a puzzle, where you think about all the characters in a row and all the characters that I keep safe in my fur baby container, and you line them all up and you try to decide which one's the most important to you and which one least resembles Gabe or your mom. Like this one's my mom, obviously, right? This is my sweet boy. This one's my sweet boy. Mari's in the rebuilds only, and she's kind of fucking sexy, and she doesn't remind me of my mom at all, which is kind of awesome. Did you guys want this one? I could ship it to you. Sound off in the comments if you want this picture. If I remember where it is. I'm so sorry. I fucking made a fucking mess again. Got you. I made a fucking mess. I made a mess. Okay? And I'm sorry. When the angels show up. That was crazy, huh? What's going on with that? One of them is just a whole trapezius. He just shows up. And he's floating around, and then Shinji shows up inside of his mom and robot and takes him out in one freaking smack. That's awesome. Personally, I feel like Shinji a lot of days. Like if someone said, "Why don't you get in a freaking robot?" I'd be like, "What are you joking me about that? You making some kind of little joke at my expense? I'm not gonna get in the robot." Is sort of what I would say, like along those lines. And Shinji, I kind of relate. And then when he gets made to go in the robot and do horrific acts of war and crime alongside his mom. Maybe, or his other mom. And he starts freaking crying and listening to his little cassettes. And that's what I would do too, is I would listen to my little music. I listen to my 80s music that I like. It's like Whitesnake. I could listen to Whitesnake and then cry about being in the robot. It's sort of what I was thinking. Or Devo. You guys remember Devo? You Must Whip It. That's sort of what I would listen to if I was upset about the robot or being inside of it and killing the biblical creatures that show up. Or I probably just wouldn't get in the robot still. I'd probably ignore what my stepdad was telling me to do. Because it doesn't matter what he asks me to do, I'm not going to fucking do it. There's something really tragic about how Shinji gets led along on the nose by Misato and all sorts of other summer babes that are in his life. They lead him on, and they make him think, oh, I'll give you a sweet life. And then what happens? Shinji trusts them, and he listens to his cassettes, and bam, his life is a mess, and he's breathing all sorts of stuff. Who knows what's in there? And then he takes all the vaccines they ask him to take, and he does whatever they ask him to do. Does that make sense? You guys understand what I'm saying? Fucking Jesus is sort of what I'm saying. It's sort of what I'm saying. Fuck! Stop. But that's kind of... I think Shinji and I have a bond. We have a close bond. It's